What's up, Wando and Beckham? I'm Maddie Richmond, and you're watching East Cooper Student News. Today on the show, there's a big change in student parking at Wando. We'll have all the details. Plus, Beckham has more students than it was built for. We'll have all the challenges facing students and teachers. And we'll tell you all about the Lighthouse Keeper Program over here at the CAS. It's September 28th, 2022. Don't go anywhere because ECSN starts right now.
Welcome to ECSN. Follow me.
Welcome back to the second episode of East Cooper Student News. I'm Maddie Richmond. Wando's parking lot has 1,200 spaces for students. You might have noticed a lot more empty spaces this year than past years. That's why on August 30th, Wando announced that sophomores could have the opportunity to park on campus. ECSN reporter Rachel Peak has more.
There are way less kids at Wando this year than there were last year. That means smaller classes, less crowded hallways, and an emptier parking lot. Because there are now more available parking spaces, Wando sophomores can now park on campus.
So usually we allow the sophomores to park at the end of the school year when the seniors get checked out. That's when the sophomores are allowed to park. Other than that, there was no sophomore parking on campus, as long as I can remember.
But this year things changed. Sophomores can now buy a parking spot right here in B-Lot. Several sophomores are super excited.
It feels great, and I feel like I have a lot more freedom.
It's cool. It definitely helps my parents out a lot. They don't have to provide rides or anything.
Being able to park on campus has helped a lot of sophomores with finding rides, but some students say they had a few concerns earlier in the school year.
I was nervous because I was afraid that all of the spots would get filled up right away whenever we would be allowed to park.
For kids like Huntley Poole, being allowed to park is a privilege, and it's a privilege juniors and seniors didn't have when they were younger.
From upperclassmen, they all seem very annoyed, and I think they're just mad because they couldn't park as sophomores.
I've heard them say, oh, we didn't get to do that. Why do they get to?
Despite these comments, school officials say there was no reason to stop sophomores from parking on campus.
We had some spaces left, so we figured why not just open up for sophomores.
In the future, I hope it will help both me and my parents with logistics.
Thanks, Rachel. Many of those spaces were empty earlier this year because Lucy Beckham High School was built to help reduce the crowding at Wando, but now Beckham has students in all 4 grade levels, and the Bengals are already over capacity. ECSN reporter True Willis is a Beckham student and has more on the challenges caused by overcrowding.
With Beckham starting its 3rd year and having a senior class, the school now has a big concern. There are more students than there is space. Students say they definitely notice a big difference.
It was nice to have the prospect that when we included more students in the incoming years, it wouldn't be so bad, but it definitely has gotten a little too crowded for my taste.
Students are not the only ones affected by overcrowding. Teachers are experiencing this too. A few teachers at Beckham, called floaters, are always moving between classrooms. Mr. Mueller teaches social studies and is one of those floaters.
I get to float. I'm all over the 3rd floor. I'm in and out. I've done it before. It's easier than it used to be before Promethean boards and Chromebooks, and you had to roll around on a cart with stacks of papers and things. But it's still, it's horribly inconvenient. Students can't find you unless they schedule something. There's no drop-ins. They sort of, where's Mr. Mueller? I don't know. Nobody knows where I am.
Moving outside, we see the new trailers dubbed the cottages. These new cottages are still under construction, but should be in use soon. Students and teachers don't love them, but they do understand it is a necessary evil.
But I feel like learning in a trailer classroom might be a bit different compared to learning in the actual classroom. But in terms of being in my classes, I don't think it's too much of an issue.
It's just been disheartening to see it happen already. Everybody knew Mount Pleasant was still growing. And so you knew eventually it would happen, that we would have to start floating, which is inconvenient, that there would be modular classrooms. We just didn't expect it so soon.
While students and teachers understand Beckham is trying to figure it all out, some students say their most important need is still being met, and that is getting a good education. Right now, floating teachers and cottages are the quick fix to the growing pains. ECSN will keep you posted on any other ways Beckham addresses their overcrowding. Reporting for ECSN, I'm True Willis.
Thanks, Drew. Back here at the CAS, teachers are spotlighting some great students in their classes. Today we've got spotlights from engineering and auto tech. Mrs. Carol Check nominated Sierra Burr, Miles Baldwin, Wyatt Allen, and Adam Mustafa.
I nominated them because their project was very, very well integrated, from the name of their project to the actual game. They totally nailed the design brief.
I am honored, and I guess I think it's cool. This is my first class in the CAS, so I wasn't sure what this really was about, but it's cool to be nominated.
My grandfather was a nuclear engineer, so I just kind of wanted to see what was so cool about that and why he chose it, and I thought, I don't know, sounded interesting. Well, I'm planning on doing engineering as my career later in my life, so I'm just trying to experiment with it.
Mr. Streets nominated Ryan McIntyre in Auto Tech 3. He says Ryan does a great job balancing his time between school and work.
Feels good to be nominated just because I put a lot of time and effort in this class, and it's something I really look forward to in the future. It provides me a lot of options and a lot of knowledge.
Ryan's a great guy, first. He is dedicated to what we do here in Auto Tech. He's working towards his career path in automotive technology. Currently, he works at Hendrick Toyota as part of the apprenticeship program through Trident Technical College while still being here as a student, which is a pretty good accomplishment for sure. So he's just a great student. He always does what he's supposed to do. And he has, I would say, a very strong future ahead of him.
Ryan's plan is to continue his automotive education after high school and become a full-time automotive technician. These students are great candidates to become Lighthouse Keepers at the CAS. Applications for the Lighthouse Keeper Program are open now. ECSN reporter Liz Balestrini tells us exactly what students can expect when they become a Lighthouse Keeper.
The Lighthouse Keeper Program at the CAS is a capstone program designed to help students to excel in their college and career readiness. If you're not sure what it is, the program sponsor, Mrs. Madre, says the program is pretty simple.
Lighthouse Keepers are the face of the CAS. These kids are our ambassadors. We want you to be that beacon of light, positive role models for students, whether they're new, they've been here before. We just want to grow this positive community and the family lifestyle that we have built here at the CAS.
Wando Jr. Alice Lee is a returning Lighthouse Keeper. She enjoys being a part of the program.
I want to get more involved in the community, and I just think this program is a great way to help everyone meet new people.
It is a good way to help meet new people, but it's also a big resume builder and helps many students jumpstart the diversity in their college applications.
I want my college application to be filled with all different sorts of things and just be very diverse. So I already have NHS and Beta Club, and I just wanted to add something else, and Lighthouse Keepers seemed like a great way to do that.
The program isn't just for college-bound students. The requirements are attainable for most students, whether or not they plan to go to college. To complete the program, you need to have an overall GPA of 3.25. Then, you need to either attend lectures or complete a capstone project. Alice says she enjoys the lectures.
They allow different people from different backgrounds to come and speak to us, and we can get a glimpse into what their life is like and if we want to pursue a career like theirs.
Additionally, Lighthouse Keepers students need to meet a college or career readiness goal. And for some students, doing something like an internship would kill two birds with one stone.
I'm very interested in medical field, and if I can get an internship and that will help me fill my requirements for Lighthouse Keepers and do something that I'm interested in, I feel like that would be a really great way to just diversify.
All of the requirements to complete the program are things the sponsor, Mrs. Madre, says most students are already doing.
We want these kids to go above and beyond. We know that they are able to do this, and we really want to push them. It helps them grow themselves professionally, personally, develop their network, and create more experiences for them.
Applications are open now. You can find the application on a quick link at the CAS webpage. Reporting for ECSN, I'm Liz Balestrini.
Thanks, Liz. Last Tuesday, the CAS hosted a blood drive for both students and staff. Our cameras were at the blood drive and caught CAS Principal Mr. Blankenship giving blood.
This is the first of 4 drives that we're going to have this school year, sponsored by our HOSA organization. All of the blood, of course, is going to go back and benefit the people that are living here in the Carolinas and Georgia, and then all of the benefits that are coming back to the CAS, specifically HOSA, we're looking forward to as well.
The blood drive was sponsored by HOSA, and they said 108 people showed up to give blood. Now let's turn our attention to sports. Both Wando and Beckham have been busy on the football field the last couple of weeks. Annie Wilborn joins us now with more.
What's up, sports fans? I'm Annie Wilborn. There's been a lot of action from Beckham and Wando recently, so let's get to it. This is Beckham football's first year as a varsity team. Despite better competition this year, the Bengals have held their own and gotten some big wins. On our last show, you saw them beat Wando. Andrew Peterite has the action from their game against Bishop England.
Beckham looking to go 3-0 hosting Bishop England. They beat Wando the week before 8-6. Beckham with the ball near the 3rd-yard line, and they decide to run the ball and hand it off to Tower Kindock, who takes it up and runs it into the end zone, scoring the first touchdown of the game. Beckham starts off strong with a lead of 7-0. With the ball on the 1-yard line, the Bengals hand it off to Charles Bird, scoring the second touchdown of the game with a hard reach. Getting closer to the end of the first half, the Bengals with the ball on the 5, scoring the 3rd touchdown of the game for the Bengals. Robert Myers making the win much closer for their team. Bengals win with a strong offense and defense, with the final score being 34-7 against the Bishops, and they now become 3-0 for their season.
Thanks, Andrew. Beckham lost a very rainy game to Hanahan 10-6, but had a big win on the road against Stahl, 48-0. The Bengals are now 4-1. They start region play Friday night on the road against May River. On the other side of Mount Pleasant, Wando's had some success in their athletics. The Warriors got their first win against Stahl 34-0. Then they traveled to Somerville and lost a tough game 30-0. They were back at home September 16th against West Ashley. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Wando's hosting West Ashley, trying to even their score at 2-2. Before the game, Wando cheerleaders and the Little Warrior cheerleaders show off their cheers from the Little Warrior Camp over the summer. Cheerleaders say it's the team's biggest fundraiser every year.
A week during the summer, they come and we teach them a bunch of cheers and a bunch of dances, do arts and crafts, and then one of the games during the school year, they come and just cheer with us.
I think it's really fun because we get to interact with our future generation, and they look up to us and we're like their role models, and it's really fun.
Let's get to the game. Wando versus West Ashley. Scoreless with less than 5 minutes left in the first half. Wando trying to score. Brooks Limke's pass is intercepted. Game was tied at 0 at halftime. Third quarter, still scoreless. West Ashley is able to take it up the middle for a short touchdown. Wildcats lead 7-0. Fourth quarter, last chance for Wando, down 7-0. Limke's pass, intended for Colby Cash, is broken up. Wildcats go on to win 7-0. Wando drops to 1-3 on the year.
As of taping this segment, Wando football is 1-3. They have a chance to turn their record around on Friday as they host Cane Bay for homecoming. It is also the Warriors' first region game of the year. This year, Wando also has a new varsity sport. Previously a club sport for the last several years, boys varsity volleyball is now an official varsity sport. The Warriors were in action last week as they hosted Philip Simmons. Wando lost a tight match. Their overall record this year is 3-5. That's all for sports. I'm Annie Wilburn reporting for ECSN. Back to you, Maddie.
Thanks, Annie. This week is a huge week at Wando because it's homecoming week. Tomorrow is double trouble. You should dress with a twin. Friday is Wando gear. You should dress white if you're a freshman, gray if you're a sophomore, red if you're a junior, and black if you're a senior. Friday night is the homecoming game against Cane Bay. Saturday is the homecoming dance. The theme is Old Hollywood. We hit the halls at Wando to find out what you guys think of the dance this year.
I'm super excited. I can't wait. I'm dressing up every day.
I think it's cool. It's like, isn't that like Old Hollywood, kind of like the Great Gatsby? That's dope. Like shiny stuff.
I think it sounds really cool, but I just have no idea what I'm supposed to wear.
I think the theme is a really good idea. I have a nice little feather boa ready, and yeah, so I'm excited.
I'm definitely excited to see different people's interpretations of the theme because I feel like it's very different. So I'm excited to see how people dress for it.
Yeah, me too. I love the variety in clothing. It's amazing.
You don't really see that style now, and it would be very unique.
Es interesante. Como vengo de otro país, nunca hemos tenido un baile, entonces es algo nuevo.
It's interesting because I come from different countries, so we never have dances like this.
Thanks, guys. That's all for today's episode of East Cooper Student News. If you have something you think we need to announce on the show, please let us know by emailing our teacher, Mr. Fabiano, at the email address on your screen. Our next show is on October 12th. This is Maddie Richmond signing off for ECSN.